be irulau. Watch your back, the trench is gonna get you. Watch your back, the trench is gonna get you. Watch your back,
Oh, there's a giant here. It's a coming from the agility. Gotta wash those red hands. It's the crimes of the Badlands. It's the crimes of the Badlands. Hi, Douglas.
Hi, Julie. How you doing?
Doing good. How you doing?
Me too. This is Crimes of the Basque Lands. I'm sure everybody that clicked knows that. But today we have a Txikisode, which is not one whole story. It's just a number of stories we found online that have connections to the Basque Country, right?
Mm-hmm. Yep.
And so, yeah, just be prepared for a lot of stories instead of one big one.
Mm-hmm. So what are we drinking today, Douglas?
Well, I'm on a simple beer that does not merit mention. I mean, let's say hi to Galicia from it, and everybody who knows. And then you guys are drinking Rosé by Faustino, which is a very well-known brand here. Yeah. And it's actually from Navarre. Mm-hmm. It's called Faustino Ribero Ulecia, and it's from Corella in Navarre, in the south of Navarre, just north of Tudela, is where this is from.
Nice. Well, I'm drinking it. It is nice.
Is it nice? Mm-hmm. I didn't actually try it, but I believe you. Let's go for it.
So this is from...
Excited. Hold on to your chapella.
Yes, hold on to your chapella. This is from El Paso, Texas.
Oh, the U.S. of the
U.S. Yeah. So I'll read the headline to you. Driver killed in Doniphan road rage shooting. Father, sons arrested on murder charges.
Oh.
So Raul Alberto Orozco. So we've had a few
Orozcos. Yeah. Yep. It's quite a
common name.
It's a common name, and it's connected to a town called Orozco. Mm-hmm.
So Raul Alberto Orozco, 53, and his sons Jose Alberto Orozco, 28, and Christian Bailey Orozco, 21, are accused in a roadway confrontation that resulted in the death of 32-year-old Marcos Fino Jr.
It's like a triple Basque crime.
Yeah. So this shooting occurred before...
Shooting?
Yeah. It's Texas, Douglas. So, the shooting occurred shortly before 6 p.m. on Doniphan Road, or Drive, near Montoya Road in the Upper Valley. So, I don't know. Anyone that's familiar with El Paso would know where that is. We do not, right?
We don't, no.
So, Raul, the father, Orozco, was driving a truck, and Fino was driving a car when they got into a road rage altercation on Doniphan Drive. Raul began chasing Fino, who had 3 other people with him in his car. And during the chase, Orozco called his sons for help.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah. So near Montoya Road, the 2 sons maneuvered their vehicle in front of Fino's car, blocking him in, while their father blocked the car from behind with his truck.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah.
It turned so quickly.
Mm-hmm. An argument erupted in the street, then turned into a fight between the Orozco brothers and Fino and a man who was a passenger in Fino's car. The police said during the fight, Jose Orozco, which is one of the sons, allegedly shot Fino. Yep. So the Orozcos left the scene and called police from Montoya Road. So they were the ones that called the police.
Oh, man.
A passenger in the car was rushing to take Fino for medical help when he flagged down a police car on Doniphan Drive. But Fino died in the shooting.
Man.
Yep. So Jose was jailed under a $1 million bond, while his father and brother were each jailed on a $500,000 bond in the county jail. That story is quite odd, right? Because of the idea that the dad was driving, got pissed, and then took the time
to call
his sons.
Yeah, not the police, his sons.
And be like, whatever you're doing, drop it. I need you to block this guy in. Yeah. I can give you a spot for you to get in front of him.
Yeah, it's
so like
it screams America, no? It's like the police are shit. The police probably treat them like shit, and they're not going to get any help. So, may as well take the matter into your own hands. They have guns. Clearly, they've thought about that before. That's why they have guns. Because if,
But a lot of people just have guns.
Sure, especially in Texas.
Yeah.
But, that's the thing. Like, especially in Texas, it used to be 100%, like, not at 100%, but it used to be overwhelmingly Republican. And that's the kind of person who doesn't believe in the state, who doesn't believe in the function of security being paid for by anybody else. It's your responsibility. And that's such an American thing.
Well, and very Texas too.
From our European point of view, of course.
Yeah.
There's grades of. So, I just think it's one of those, many signs of just a very big division. My heart goes out to everybody slighted by the bad police system.
Which leads us to your story, right?
It does. So we're gonna mention some stories, a couple of stories about Fiestas, which are the Fiestas for Bilbao. In Basque, we would call them Jayak. This is the name for Fiestas. So Bilboko Jayak. And there were 17 people arrested on the last Friday. Well, there's only one Friday, isn't there? But,
oh yeah, that's true. There is only one Friday.
Because it's Hasta Negociar means the big week, and it's from, is it Saturday to
Sunday?
Sunday, exactly.
But Sunday the following week.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. So that's why it's a big week.
Yeah.
It's like 8 or 9 days, and so 17 people were arrested on the Friday, 2 for assault, 9 for robbery and theft, and 2 for drug trafficking were the numbers. And actually that was up 50% from last year.
Wow.
According to the mayor. But then the mayor quickly added, not because there's more crime, but because we put more police, because it's what the people needs. I disagree with the mayor's assessments.
So I heard there was just so many undercover cops.
Yeah, and 900 apparently.
900 in the Chosnas.
Like Friday night.
Okay, so there are 900 on duty. Just
which is
some were probably undercover and others were probably in uniform.
A ton were undercover.
Yeah.
A ton were. I was people knew this. They were telling me. They were like, "Careful, everybody's probably police."
Who was it?
Not that I was doing anything too bad.
They were really obvious too. Like if you really stopped to look, someone was saying this. I can't remember who it was. If you really stopped to look, you could tell who the undercover cops were because they were like really over the top, like wearing
really?
like a chapella or like
just
gosh. Like super dressed, like as if they were trying to fit in or something. I don't know. I can't remember who was telling me that.
It's probably how we dressed. So if you 10 years ago,
stopped to look at them, yeah, you could tell who was undercover.
That's a great one.
I just wanted to add a couple more stories about Fiestas.
Okay.
One of them was that there is the Bilboko comparsa that denounced the commercial use of Marihaya. So it's just like a big puppet.
Mascot.
Or, yeah, so she's like a symbol of the Fiestas, right?
Yeah, for sure.
They say, quote, that Marihaya belongs to everyone and no one, and means party, joy, and popular fun. Marihaya does not want to sell us anything or make deals with merchants.
Yeah.
This is happening when the image rights of Marihaya were bought by the city council for 440,000 euros.
Who had them before?
Whoever made her. Whoever designed her.
Okay.
And he sold them, so that guy made a killing. They sold it to the city council for 440,000 euros. They signed a contract for the transfer of property rights, intellectual property, reproduction, distribution, and communication of Marihaya.
That doesn't sound good.
Yeah. They held a performance where dozens of people removed labels and trademark stickers that Marihaya had attached to her clothes. So that was their little protest they put on.
Basque language was, pushed out of Spanish society for a long, long time, and so that kind of control of government, of symbols, of a people and a culture is a very touchy issue.
I think it's the idea that the fiestas will be commercialized and then they'll lose all of their spirit, you know, like
but that's
with
the
anything
thing.
that becomes like.
But she already loses her spirit on a Coca-Cola can, right?
Right, like if that's what they end up doing with it, then
Yeah.
you're like, oh, now it's all just gone corporate.
Yeah.
It's like all those music festivals that go corporate, you know, and it's just all about corporations.
Yeah, and a lot of times
co-opting popular things that, because like, you know, remember in our episode we were just talking about how the whole point of it was to make it about the people and allow the people to create the fiestas, not be in the hands of Corte Inglés or even Town Hall.
Yeah.
Like to make it more like a popular thing where everybody's involved. And it's for everybody. All right, I've got one more fiesta story. This one is in France. Bayona.
You mean Northern Basque Country?
Yes. French.
You're
Basque
excused,
Country
Julie.
Or Northern Basque Country.
Yes. The part of the Basque Country controlled by France.
Yes. So this is their fiestas in Bayona. A 46-year-old man died.
Oh my gosh.
Yes, very terrible. So he was attacked in Bayona on Wednesday night, July 26th. He was a 46-year-old man. He died after being in a coma for 9 days.
Oh my gosh.
What happened was the victim reproached 3 men for urinating in front of his house, like in the door to his house.
Okay.
And they just attacked him and beat him, and one of them punched him so hard that he suffered from a cerebral hemorrhage. So he was hospitalized and then went in a coma and then died 9 days later. So, some bad news about fiestas.
Very sad.
Yeah. But, like pure Basque Country form, there was lots of protests following this.
Like in favor of the guy.
Like, just like, this is bullshit, that this should happen, you know.
Very sad. I mean,
yeah,
French
really sad.
police
Really sad.
don't have a good rep right now either. Have they ever?
Okay, so another story. So 23rd of August, or before that, I'm not sure when this first happened. But the big story that we need to follow, Douglas, because this could be a future episode, is they found a body in a suitcase.
Oh my gosh.
On Archanda.
You know, people mention this because people by now know we do this podcast.
Yeah,
like,
Douglas, you gotta look into the dismembered
like,
body in the suitcase.
Julie will deal with that.
Because Archanda, yeah, I'll take on those gory ones. This Archanda is like, so Bilbao is in a valley, but there are 2 mountains that are on each side of the valley. Yeah. One of them is Archanda. Okay.
Yeah. So we're on the river, and it flows north towards the Biscayan Bay, and on the right hand side we have that river, that mountain, Archanda.
Yeah. So they found a body in a suitcase, and they're trying to identify the victim, right?
Still.
Yeah. So the scientific unit of the Archanda continues working on the investigation of the burned human remains. So it was burned as well.
Oh.
Found in a building on Mount Archanda in Bilbao. Whoever's in charge of the security advisor, would you like to guess his first name?
Jose.
Close. Josu.
Yosu. Oh. I don't even know if Yosu is Jose in Basque.
Josu.
But hey.
Yeah. I thought Joseba was.
Maybe.
Or is that Joseph? Joseba might be Joseph. Anyway. So, Josu Erkoreka.
Very, very traditional Basque surname.
So he's the security advisor. I don't know what that means. But he acknowledged this morning that this is a, quote, particularly complex investigation, although it is progressing with the little material available.
Okay. Something's going forwards.
So on Saturday, August 19th, that's when the body was found. Emergency services found several human remains with signs of violence in an abandoned building in Archanda. where the Miramar restaurant was located some time ago. The remains were found inside a suitcase that had been burned. Erkoreka explained that work is being done to identify the victim through the physical and anatomical elements that are preserved and present in the suitcase. Specifically, he has detailed that they found several fingers and that suitably rehydrated, they could serve as a basis to identify the fingerprints and find the identity of the victim. That's what they got to do.
Sounds like 1950s investigation. How about DNA, you know? I mean, I know nobody has DNA tests here.
Well, you have to have something to compare it to.
That's what I'm saying. Nobody takes DNA tests here.
Right. So
mine's on record. It's out there. Everybody can find me.
Well, fingerprints would imply that perhaps this was criminals. This person that's the victim was also involved in some sort of criminal ring and perhaps has a prior record.
No, but even if
it's fingerprints were taken,
even if it's your ID card,
because I don't think they take your DNA. They don't take your DNA. No, they take your fingerprints though.
Yeah.
So that would be the easiest
for your ID.
Right.
They're probably comparing.
Your ID.
To
Yeah, that's right. Your ID. They do take a fingerprint. Yeah.
That's probably what they're going for.
Yeah.
It doesn't need to be a criminal.
Okay.
For fingerprints.
That's true.
At least you're.
So they said in relation to the people who committed the crime, there's no information. They have no idea. So it's difficult to speculate about their motivations when neither the identity of the victim nor that of the alleged perpetrator is known. But it sounds like it was a violent death.
I mean.
So the restaurant closed in 2019.
So late.
Yeah, and it was completely abandoned since then.
Mm-hmm.
So it is common, though, for people to be wandering around the building. So, probably teenagers. I wonder who found it. A teenager, probably.
So the thing is, when people were telling me about it, it wasn't clear where it was. And the thing is, up on that mountain, the top of the mountain, up until the Civil War, it was like there was an enormous casino there, and there was like what do you call it? Like a skating rink, like ice skating rink for winter, and there was a golf course, and eventually, after the war, they built like what do you call it? Like an attraction fair for like children and all those things.
Like a little attractions park. Yeah.
Yeah, it just never really took off, those things. So there's lots of like abandoned things. So I thought it was there when people talked about the suitcase, and then now it was just like a restaurant close to that, right? No. Further, it's like right above. It's actually quite near the funicular. Oh wow! It's not far off, right, from there. Because there's still the funicular that used to go up. And then you start heading down towards the north, right, like towards the sea. I would say that direction. There are a couple of restaurants. I've seen the restaurant. Really, towards the north. That's a more busy area. I would have expected it to be towards the south, where it's more abandoned. No, because the south is where that abandoned exactly attraction park is. Yeah. Crazy. Yeah, so we'll have to see if anything ever comes of that. See if it can be a future episode. Yeah, we'll have a revisit at some point. I hope. Stay tuned. Yeah, maybe they'll just never figure anything out. Yeah, but and then what do you do? It just becomes cold and. I mean, at least at some point, a cousin's gonna do a DNA test and we're gonna identify him. Yeah. I can tell you that. That's possible. We can't escape that in 2023. You know you have to give permission for that. Did you give permission for that? It's all given. I didn't give permission for that. My DNA is all over the American system. I'm sure they don't do anything. No, but all my cousins are fucked, so. Plus, I've got my family tree out there, so. Oh, you're fucked, Douglas. Just be a good boy. No, just be a good boy. The day I do something wrong, I'm fucked. Yeah. But... Let's do one more story. So this is in Navarra. So this is a woman in Navarre is being investigated for appropriating 150,000 euros from her deceased father-in-law. Ooh. Mm-hmm. So the woman investigated used the power of attorney without... him knowing. Well, she used her... I guess she had power of attorney. Yeah.
And then she went to clean out
his
the
accounts.
His father-in-law's accounts. It wasn't even her father. It was her father-in-law.
Yeah.
So she's a 42-year-old woman living in Merindad de Olete. So the investigating agents carried out an analysis of the accounts, movements, and power of attorney, the ATM withdrawals, and cash movements. Okay, so since the power of attorney was granted to her, the victim's account went from having nearly 150,000 euros to 440 in 45 days.
Wow,
So
she worked
got
hard.
to work. Yeah.
I didn't even know you could do that per day.
Right?
That's intense.
So
I think my bank would be calling me if I tried to take more than 2,000 euros out of my
they would have
account.
been calling him, but he's dead, so nobody would answer.
I mean, I might call
or they'd
her.
be calling her. Exactly,
Yeah.
they'd be calling her, and she'd be like, "No, everything's fine."
Yeah, still
Everything's
though.
fine.
Oh my gosh, I'm so scared of like paperwork.
I'm trying to. Somebody turned her in. I can't find the part here. Who was that turned
Husbands?
her in? I think it was the actual son.
Yeah. Oh my gosh. Wow.
Oh yes, a complaint was received from an heir to investigate an alleged donation his deceased father had given to his sister-in-law. Because
Yeah.
it sounds like she was married to one of this man's
One of
children.
Yeah. Yeah.
Right?
Yeah, because normally, it's only like your parents or your children who are direct. What do you call them?
Heirs.
Heirs. That's the one.
Yeah.
At least in the Basque Country.
Yeah, here. That's how it works. So, yeah, that's
An heir. An heir.
The heir was like, where's my money? This bitch took it all.
I mean, good for that heir. I hope that heir gets something but air.
Yeah, do you want to hear one more?
Let's go for it. We're
Okay.
We're good. We're good.
This is the story that Megan turned me on to.
Ooh.
Our producer here, Megan. Hey, Megan, hey. Okay, so this girl named...
Our discreet producer, you meant.
Yes. She likes to stay quiet. This is in Arizona, so it's one more for abroad. Okay?
Arizona, the good stone.
Alicia Navarro is her name.
Oh, nice and
She
easy.
is 18 and reappeared this week after being missing for 4 years.
Oh, so she turned up again. That's
turned up.
nice.
So, a Montana man has discovered he was neighbors with Alicia Navarro, the missing Arizona teenager who was found alive in Montana 4 years after she vanished.
Oh. Montana's a place you go if you want to escape,
if you want
right?
to hide, right?
I mean, that's what it used to be. Apparently
Garrett
not.
Smith, this is their witness,
Okay.
22, estimated that he saw Navarro around 30 times in the apartment building he shared with his girlfriend. I'll give her name too, Megan Alexander. Like our producer here. She's 23. In the city of Havre. I'm not sure if that's how you pronounce it. Havre. Havre. Havre? I don't know how
I
they
mean,
would
in
pronounce it.
French... it
How would
be-
they pronounce it in Montana?
In
Yeah.
French, it would be Havre.
But in Montana...
Haver.
Haver, yeah, maybe. Haver. Okay, so the day before, Navarro showed up at a police station close to the Canadian border earlier this week and identified herself as the missing teen who vanished in 2019. Smith, this man, the witness, had heard her yelling at the man that she was living with. So his is quote, I was here the other day and I heard them yelling. She did say, I will go back, but that's all I heard. The next
That's
day...
very little information, but okay.
Right. The next day, Navarro walked into the Haver police department.
Oh, I got it. It is Haver.
Heva.
Yeah,
Heva. Okay, Heva. Excuse us, Montanans. We don't mean any disrespect.
Up in Haver.
Heva Police Department and asked to be taken off a list of missing people in order to obtain her driver's license.
Oh my, that is...
And her stating a desire to live a normal life.
Oh my gosh, this is so weird.
Right?
Oh, hi. I know I'm
I've been missing.
registered as a missing person, but can I just go drive?
Well, she finally turned 18, and that's when she went to say she get her name off that list.
I mean,
She went missing as a 14-year-old.
Oh,
Smith
the gray
said,
areas.
this is still the neighbor talking.
I
All
love
their
the neighbor.
information
I
is
love
from
the
this
neighbor.
neighbor. Smith said Navarro and a man in his 20s were living in the apartment building for about a year. I would see both of them walking out, he said, quite often. I think I saw them holding hands once when they were leaving. But he'd only spoken to her just days before she went to the cops, saying she was looking for her uncle by a post office.
So she
was asking for directions. She looked scared, Smith said, noting that despite being barely younger than him, Navarro referred to him as Mr. So she's 18, he's 22, this guy that's like the witness. She said she was walking with her uncle and got lost. And she's looking for 6th Street. I later found out that she was referring to him as her uncle. That they were holding hands.
The 20-something-year-old?
So the 22-year-old witness said that when he saw this man that she was living with, who looked in his 20s,
she called him uncle.
And she referred to him as uncle.
I mean, that's weird, eh? Let's say he's...
Totally weird. Let's say
he's 26, so when she was 14, that would make... so he would be 22.
Yeah. Smith said that Navarro's voice was scratchy and that she often appeared in bad shape. Her braces looked pretty bad. She had braces on when she went missing in Arizona in 2019.
Oh my gosh.
It looked like she still had the same braces on.
Oh my gosh.
So police and...
That's the most objectionable thing I've heard so far. Oh,
yeah.
That is so sad.
Yeah.
That's
so when she went to the police said that she appeared to be fine and in good health. A day after Smith heard her yelling at the man she was referring to as uncle, she went to the police. She literally walked into the police station and said, "I am Alicia Navarro. I am reported missing and I would like to be taken off that list and get a driver's license."
I don't think it's that simple, but... Oh, man.
Steele said... I don't know who Steele is. I think it's Trent Steele, president of the Anti-Predator Project and spokesperson for Navarro. She said she wanted a Montana driver's license. So Navarro, who has been described as having high-functioning autism, was just 14 when she slipped out of her Glendale home in September of 2019. An officer asked her, Did anybody hurt you in any way? No, nobody hurt me, Navarro replied.
Yeah, I mean, is that all
So it remains unclear how Navarro, now 18, traveled more than 1,000 miles alone to a small town on the border of Canada to identify herself to police, or where she's been since vanishing. So
many issues there, right?
The mother says this is proof that miracles exist, and she urged other family members of missing children not to lose hope. Anyway,
I mean,
pretty crazy though, right?
Look, if I thought she
you'd
dead,
think as a parent,
of course. I'm so glad she's alive.
Yeah,
of course.
All right, well then, thank you for listening again, and yes, contact us with any story ideas you have. crimesofthebasquelands@gmail.com. Follow us on Instagram, Apple Podcasts, or wherever you get your podcasts, Spotify.
Since our last podcast, we've uploaded actually all of our podcasts to YouTube. So if you use YouTube a little bit better, YouTube. It's just a podcast. We haven't added any images,
to our channel.
Really, but yeah, you can listen to us there as well.
Mm-hmm. All right.
That was my notes.
So,
lots of love.
Bid you agur. Crimes of the Basque Lands is written and produced by
Douglas D. Carvalho,
Julie Garcia,
I'm Megan Dooley.
The sound and editing for each episode by
Douglas D. Carvalho,
I'm Megan Dooley.
Theme song written by
Douglas D. Carvalho,
Julie Garcia,
I'm Megan Dooley.
Sung by the choir with no name and produced by Tom Squires. Podcast art by Distinct Signal. Follow us on Instagram and Facebook at Crimes of the Basque Lands, and contact us at crimesofthebasquelands@gmail.com with story ideas worldwide which have a connection to the Basque Country, or any rave reviews. If you like our podcast, please subscribe, like, rate, and review wherever you get your podcasts. Until next time, agur!